Hi, it's Nigel here again from Scientium, and in today's session we're going to be talking about how you sort of get money out of super. Most of us are worried about how we're getting money in there and how it's earning. For those who are nearing, no, you might be in your 30s even, or 40s, but obviously in your 50s or definitely in your 60s, you're thinking, how do I actually get money out of this fund and how does it work? So just flipping the charts again, effectively you've got a super fund here. I'm going to keep these really simple, and at some stage we all get to a point where you can access money in super. Now technically you can access money in super before you retire under certain conditions, but that's normally in an illness or adventure or you haven't been working, things like that. So we're going to leave that aside. They're quite unique, but if that's your situation, you can apply to the trustee and there's rules around that. But we're going to talk about what's more common, is that you're getting to retirement age, and at the current, most people can access money when they're 60. A few can access a bit under 60, but most of us listening to this will be 60 when they can access their super, or they're already past 60. And what happens at 60 is you can, if you're retired, you meet what's called a condition of release, and you can start to access money in your super. If you haven't retired, you can still start to access money in your super. It's called a transition to retirement income stream. But for most people, they'll get to around that 60 age and start to think about, am I going to stop work? Am I going to do some part-time work? Or am I going to work till 70, whatever the case may be? But let's say you're 62 or 63 and you decide that you've got money in the super fund and you say, I'm going to move to retirement and I want to start drawing money out of this. And what that is called is, it's basically called a pension. It's confusing because there's an age pension, the government, this is your own pension or income stream, and you can start to take income out of this fund. Now, that means that this super fund itself is now called a pension fund, and it doesn't get taxed. Up to $1.9 million is tax-free, and what you're taking out here is also tax-free. So that's a really good system. It's a really awesome system. You can have up to $1.9 million in the current rules tax-free. Above that, if your balances are above that, we can explain how the rules work above that. Now, you can still be working and still be putting money into super as well. So it doesn't mean you can't stop working. You can keep working, keep putting money into super, and you can have a pension account and draw money out. So that's the key thing to think about. So at that stage, you're going to think about it from the age 60 to 65. You have to take out 4% of the balance each year, and that goes up to then 5% and so on. So 5% from 65 to 75, above 75 at 6%. And as you get older, every 5 years that increases. So by the time you're in your 90s, you have to draw down a significant amount. In 95, it's 14% of the balance. But you get to 95 and you've still got a fair bit of money in super. That's a nice problem to have. So it's relatively straightforward, but we do find a lot of people who get to that age, they actually don't know about this, and they can flick the switch and access it. They don't know they can still contribute and take money out. So it's a really important time to get more information around it, ask some questions, get some advice if you need it. There's lots of tax implications around all. There's a lot of strategies you can think about how you get money into, as we've covered in other modules, how you get money into the super fund, maximise that before you start drawing money out. And those transition to retirement strategies as well, if you are between 60 and 65. You can contribute to super now until age 75, so there's plenty of ability to contribute to super. But the main thing is thinking about, as you're heading towards 60, if you're in your 50s, start to understand this, because there's some considerable contribution strategies you can think about. And obviously if you're over 60 and you haven't started the pension fund, you should be asking some questions to your fund or whoever you're using, or ask us to say, how do I maximise the benefits here and maybe top up some of my income. So I hope that helps. Again, these courses are meant to be pretty simple to start with, and then we delve into the detail in future modules. Thanks for listening.